Hi everyone, it's been 27 days. This is going to be part 3 of my hot pepper seed growing series. I'll show you the seed sprouts later, but right now I'm going to mix up a bunch of dirt for my seed trays, and these are my seed trays here. Just sort of standard seedling trays. So I'm going to mix probably a third of this goat manure compost with the black earth, and I'm just going to mix it in an empty kitty litter bucket, which is pretty convenient. Doing this in the basement so I don't make a big mess. I'll show you the rest of it in a second. Alright, I've got the seedling trays full of dirt. It's a mixture of the black earth and the goat composted goat manure. I'm going to take these upstairs and soak them down underneath the tap. I like to do that just to get everything watered in good. I made a little bit of a mess here. I'll just vacuum this up and clean it up. I've got some people supervising here today. I have Zeus over here keeping an eye on me. Right, Zeus? That's what we're doing today? Yeah, I'm not sure where Cola is. She was here a minute ago. I think she probably went to tell Mary I made a mess on the floor, but I'll get it cleaned up before she sees it. All right, I'm up at the sink now, and I'm going to soak these trays down. I find it's kind of hard to wet them down after you plant your seeds in them, so I'm gonna soak them down with water and then poke a pen in to each one of these so it's easier to put the seedling in, or the rooted seedling, if you will. I have the seedling trays soaked down now. Conveniently enough, these things fit perfectly in my sink, so I just spray them down and soak them down good, and then transfer them back here to a container with a drip tray on the bottom. And these already have a drip tray built in. I just get paranoid about maybe one of these trays leaking. And then we're going to poke some holes in these for the seeds. I poked holes in these with a Jiffy marker I have here. It's kind of a convenient size to try to fit the seed into these little seedlings slots. And then we'll go over to our seeds and I'll show you those. I started germinating these seeds after I soaked them in chamomile tea about 27 days ago. I'm going to lift up this paper towel here and just show you. You see these seeds have definitely sprouted. Let me do a better job at this. Okay, here we go. Not all of them have sprouted, and like I said last time in part 2, some of these are going to take 30 days or more. It's just how it is with some varieties of peppers. Take another look here. You kind of see. Another thing to note, next year I will be using a compartmentized sort of maybe a parts plastic bin where I can keep these sectionalized properly here. It seems as though a lot of these seeds have drifted. I don't really care. It'll be a surprise when these come up. If I don't know what type they are now, I will know when they start producing their pods. And we'll take these seeds over and start filling up these seed trays. I'm going to use a toothpick to fish these seed sprouts out of the seed tray and put them into the soil here. I'm just going to put them all in there and be done with it. Again, a lot of these seeds have drifted, and I don't care what kind they are. What I'm looking for this year is to get about 50 plants. If some of these don't grow, that's fine. I'm just going to, plant way more than I need. Zeus is going to help me plant these seeds. He's pretty good with his long nails. He can do it really fast. Cola, I don't know. You don't want to help? All right, I only managed to fill one of these trays. It looks like 24. Let me look close. You can see the seeds in them, and I'll have to cover them up with a spoon in a minute. But We'll start with 24. I've left the other seeds to germinate longer. Also, I've been adding other seeds to that germinating tray since some are coming in later than others. I did have to pause for a minute to take Mary's cookies out of the oven. Maybe I'll eat some of those later. This is my grow tent set up in the basement. It's just a 2x4. I think it's 5 feet high. Got a couple of grow lights in here, which I'm going to run at 15 hours a day on a timer. I've got a huge seedling mat at the bottom, and a lot of the stuff I bought at an Amazon liquidator. This mat, it cost me $5, so I've got that plugged in, the lights plugged in, and I have an exhaust fan configured to this tent on an Inkbird controller. So every time the temperature gets above 26.1, it will turn on and exhaust this. And there's a temperature variation of plus or minus, I think, a degree or so here. I've got my seedling mat plugged in here as well. And I'm going to put my seeds in here and cover them up with the clear plastic lid. And I'll be checking from time to time to see how they are. I'll monitor this temperature for a while and see if it's staying on course. I'm going to want this seedling mat. I mean, it kind of tells you the temperature of different vegetables and, you know, the germination time and how hot this mat gets. And I don't have this mat on a controller. I'm just going to plug it in and run it base and see how it does. Here's my seedlings inside the grow tent here. And, you know, one thing I should probably mention is these lights do generate some heat. And that's why I have the seedling mat here, because, you know, it's only on, the lights are only on for 15 hours a day. And so at nighttime, this seedling mat is going to keep these seeds nice and warm. And I'll check back with you if we get some more seeds in here or we get some growth happening. I'm not sure how long it's going to take for them to come out of the soil. You know, you could see earlier in the video some of these roots on these seeds are quite long. They'll probably be the first to come up. Some won't come up. It's just how it is. So that's why I always plant so many extra. All right, so that's part 3. See you in part 4.